Welcome to the Abrams Boxing Show, powered by Last Out Media and brought to you by www.15rounds.com, the worldwide leader in boxing news. Also, Abrams Boxing PR Media and Broadcasting, the industry standard for boxing media relations and play-by-play broadcasting. Also, check out www.abramsboxing.com, Abrams Boxing on YouTube, as well as M. Abrams Boxing on Twitter and Marc Abrams Boxing on Instagram. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Abrams Boxing Show. Another week, another batch of great fights to talk about, both just recently and right before this coming Saturday. Got some good pay-per-view action with Terrence Crawford, David Evanesian, Manny Pacquiao back in exhibition, and Teofimo Lopez takes on Sandor Martin. We'll get to those fights in just a minute. We'll also be joined by undefeated prospect and newly signed by Split T Management, Jalen Walker. We'll kick it off last Saturday night in Phoenix, Arizona, Glendale, Arizona to be exact. Juan Francisco Estrada won the trilogy fight over Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez to win the WBC Super Flyweight Championship. Scores were 114-114. They were overruled 116-112, 115-113 for Juan Francisco Estrada. Another terrific fight. I thought Estrada eked it out. I thought he banked enough rounds early to where he won the fight. And I want to see a fourth fight. So let's see them do it again. I mean, there's other fights out there. I know there's talks, maybe Chocolatito fight a guy like Nonito Donaire, 118 pounds, or to kind of have one of those almost legends fights with two fighters on their way out. Maybe Estrada fight someone else. But I would definitely at some point, there should be a fourth fight. There was just terrific action back and forth. The co-feature saw WBC flyweight champion Julio Cesar Martinez go to 18-2 with a 12-round majority decision over 2016 Olympic bronze medal winners Samuel Carmona. Scores were 114-114, 117-111, and 116-112 for Martinez, who goes to 18-2. Carmona is now 8-1. Carmona put up a great effort, and he was ahead. I think he hurt his hand. He hurt his right hand, and the second half of the fight kind of let Martinez get back into the fight. So Martinez retains his title, his WBC flyweight championship. Saturday in London, England, WBC heavyweight champions Tyson Fury went to 33-0-1, notched his 24th knockout as he made it 3 straight against Derek Chisora with a 10th round stoppage in front of over 60,000 people at Tottenham Spurs Stadium in London. Fury was dominant as expected. Chisora tried, but he's just not on the same level as Tyson Fury at this point in his career. And Fury wins the fight. I guess the most entertaining thing came after the fight. Joe Joyce, Alexander Usyk, they got on the apron, the three of them yelling at each other. Well, actually, Usyk really didn't say anything. He just kind of stared at Fury. But it looks like Fury and Usyk could be next sometime in the first maybe quarter or third of 2023. So on the co-feature, WBA regular heavyweight champion Daniel Dubois retained his championship barely. He got dropped 3 times in the first round. Actually, the first knockdown, he got hit on the top of the head, and it was a legitimate knockdown. The next 2 knockdowns, he kind of went down. I guess he hurt his leg. And Kevin Lorraine had a chance to end things, but Dubois came back and scored the knockdown in round 2. And then towards the end of round 3, there was another count, another knockdown. The ropes held up Lorena, and the ref waved it off. So, ref, a lot of people, I saw some articles online this week saying that, maybe Daniel Dubois got some home cooking. He was allowed 3 knockdowns in the first round. They stopped this fight after Lorena's second knockdown in the next round. So Daniel Dubois, exposed a little bit, I guess. He was exposed a little bit in his fight against Joe George, but keeps his heavyweight title, and we'll see him get a big payday at some point soon, probably next. I think they the way he looked the other night, maybe they should try to get the biggest fight they can for him. Friday in England, Josh Kelly scored a 12-round unanimous decision over former previously undefeated Troy Williamson. Williamson now 19-1-1, Kelly 13-1-1. Scores were 118-110, 119-109, and 119-111 for the former Olympian Josh Kelly. Also, Friday night in Florida, David Light survived the 12th round knockdown, but came on to win a split decision over Brandon Glanton in a battle of top 7 ranked heavyweights for the WBC. Scores were 95-94 and 97-92 for Light, 95-94 for Brandon Glanton. This week we got 3 interesting events. We'll start off Saturday night in Omaha, Nebraska. Terrence Crawford defends the WBO welterweight championship when he takes on David Evanescen on BLK pay-per-view. Also, PPV.com will be having it. So there's definitely some outlets to see that fight. Crawford 38-0, 29 knockouts. Evanescen 29-3-1 with 17 knockouts. That will take place at the CHI Health Center in Omaha, Nebraska. Expect a huge crowd on Saturday night in Omaha, Nebraska. Also Saturday night in South Korea, Manny Pacquiao comes back to the ring in an exhibition fight. He's going to take on the YouTuber DKU in a pay-per-view, also on PPV.com. That will take place at the Korea International Exhibition Center in Goyang, South Korea. Now, my man Ray Flores, frequent contributor to the podcast, will be on the call for that one. I believe he's got a Ryan Garcia Sinisa Estrada as well on the call. So we'll see an all-star crew there. Saturday night on ESPN, Teofimo Lopez will take on Sandor Martin in a big fight at Madison Square Garden. This fight's a WBC elimination fight for the former undisputed champion, take on the guy who defeated Mikey Garcia. I like Lopez in a stoppage victory maybe in that fight. Good undercard featuring some of the top ranks up-and-coming superstars. Jared Big Baby Anderson taking on Jerry Forrest. Keyshawn Davis taking on Juan Carlos Burgos. And Xander Zayas also making an appearance on the show that will be streamed. We broadcast live on ESPN and stream live on ESPN Plus. We'll be at the press conference, so stay tuned to Abrams Boxing for some interviews, some pre-fight interviews. Abrams Boxing on YouTube, 15rounds.com, the website as well. Sunday, I will actually be in Orlando, Florida to attend the WBA convention, and I'll be doing a podcast every day from there, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, from the WBA convention at the Royal Caribe, the Caribe Royale Resort in Orlando. They'll have a big fight card on Sunday night. Sergio Martinez will be on the bill. A lot of great up-and-coming prospects will be on the bill. So we'll have a lot of coverage with some of the biggest names yesterday, today, and tomorrow in the sport of boxing. So stay tuned to Abrams Boxing on YouTube. Some news of the week. The women's light flyweight championship between Kim Clavel and WBA champion Jessica Neri Plata that was scheduled last week, was postponed after Clavel contracted the flu. That fight's going to be, rescheduled for January. Golden Boy Promotions will wrap up its 2022 season with a clash between unbeaten welterweight Raul Curiel, 11-0, 9 knockouts, taking on the perennial contender Brad Solomon. That will take place at the Commerce Casino and Hotel just south of Los Angeles on the 17th of December, live on the Zone. Diego De La Hoya takes on Jose Gonzalez in the 10-round co-feature bout. I'll get some water here. It's get a little hot on December. Top Rank announced its first fight for 2023 will take place January 13th at the Turning Stone Resort Casino in Verona, New York. The main event will feature a 10-round heavyweight bout between the WBC Bridgeweight champion Oscar Rivas, 28-1, 19 knockouts, taking on Efia Jagba, 16-1, 13 knockouts. So what looked like a very interesting and entertaining heavyweight clash. The undercard for the big January 7th pay-per-view in Washington, D.C. that will feature Gervonta Davis taking on Hector Luis Garcia has been announced. The co-feature will be the IBF interim welterweight championship between Jaron Boots Ennis and Karan Cherkazian. Also on the bill, Demetrius Andrade will take on Damon Nicholson, and Rashidi Ellis will take on Roman Villa. That's be a good fight. Villa can really punch, 25-1, 24 knockouts. So I'm interested to see that fight. I'll be there in Washington, D.C. The broadcast team for this Saturday night's Terrence Crawford fight against David Avanesian was announced. Todd Grisham will lead the blow-by-blow with good friend Paulie Malignaggi and Antonio Tarver. I've worked with both of those guys doing blow-by-blow. So that should be a heck of a broadcast team. Doing the color, Zab Judah will be behind the scenes, and the backstage interviews will be from YouTuber Cheyenne McCargo. Finally, sad to announce the passing of one of the greatest, if not one of the most known referees in the business. Mills Lane passed away on Tuesday at the age of 85. He obviously was the referee most known for the Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson bite fight. He was a judge in his everyday life. Then he got the reality TV judge show. And fortunately, he suffered a bad stroke in 2002, and he finally succumbed. He fought for 20 years, finally succumbed at the age of 85 on Tuesday. This past week, I had a chance to talk to a terrific up-and-coming fighter, and guy's got like a couple 100,000 people on Instagram, Jalen Skywalker, who just signed with Split Team Management, and this is what he had to say when we had a chance. Now joining me on the line is undefeated Jalan Walker, 11-0-1, 9 knockouts, newly signed to Split Team Management. Jalen, what's happening?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Doing good. Long time no talk. Good to talk to you again. So, obviously, you got the new management group, Split Team Management. Talk about, being now with Ryan and Dave and everybody with Split Team.
And being with Split Team is really a early Christmas present, to be honest with you. So I'm really happy and excited for 2023 to basically just get out there and talk about it.
So you've still been fighting, still 11-0-1 as I pull your record up here. 11-0-1, just coming off a win in September over Moses Andres Sixto Gomez in Los Angeles. Talk about that fight.
Oh man, that fight was an incredible experience for me. It was my first time fighting in LA and having my family here and all my supporters and having the fans cheer for me. It was like really a great opportunity for me to showcase my skills. And also before that, I was sick. I got diagnosed with rhabdomyolysis. So I was sick for a while, so it was good to get back in there and get back doing what I do best.
So yeah, you're pretty active in 2021, obviously with the illness. Just the one fight in 2022. So was it frustrating? Because I know you're used to keeping a busy schedule.
Yeah, it kind of showed in the fight, but regardless, the fight was it was great. It was a great learning experience. So great, showcase great skills.
So talk about as we head to 2023. Are you going to try to get one more in before the end of the year, or you're going to start clean in 2023?
Get one more in, but it seems like we're going to start fighting in January. And the goal for next year is to put everybody on the spot. To basically, next year is going to be my year to shine.
So ever since the draw, and I always like to talk about fighters about whether it's a loss or, in your case, a draw. Very good. They all tell me it's like a great learning experience, that fight. That fight a few fights back. What have you been able to take from that draw going forward?
From that draw, was a great learning experience for me. But I honestly believe I won. It was either I won or it was a draw. It wasn't the fight where the young prospect is fighting the guy and he got a draw to be lucky. It wasn't that kind of fight. I felt I did enough to win. The judges thought otherwise. Some agreed with me, some didn't. But that guy that I fought, he's a tough fighter. He had upset wins after our fight, and I'll love to meet him again in the future. But
So 11.
that fight, I really learned about the importance of being pro. Like I always took my training serious, but after that fight, I changed everything. I got a new team, and it wasn't about disloyalty. It was about the way that my training was going. It was setting me up for failure. It wasn't professional. It was hard work, but to be the champion, you have to take it to another level. And with my new coach Pedro, we've been together for over a year and a half now, and it's going beautiful. I became the more seasoned professional fighter. We trained 2, 3 times a day. This morning I was up at 5 a.m. doing strength and conditioning. Then I did my boxing training later. So it's a beautiful plan to be a champion.
I know you have sparred in the past with Ryan Garcia, and I know he may have. You didn't spar.
I
I
haven't.
thought you did spar.
No, Ryan is 5 years older than me. I sparred his brother Sean.
Okay.
Amateurs together. 12. He was like I think 16, 17.
Gotcha. Okay. You know what? You know what it was? I know you guys follow each other on Instagram. That's I think what it is, correct?
Yeah, we follow each other. Yeah.
That I knew there was a Ryan Garcia connection somewhere.
Yeah.
Um,
His whole family knows me. We went to like tournaments that on a stayed in like same hotel rooms, hanged out. He's I'm proud of him of like what he's doing. I take my hat off.
Now, I was going to ask. He may be in need for some good southpaw sparring, possibly. I don't know if that's something that'd be interesting to you, because rumor has he's got to fight with some kind of southpaw later this year.
I love to be in there and give him the help that he needs.
So you're looking at 2023 being like a real moving year for you. How much confidence now? Like you said, you're with the split T group with Ryan Rechtin and Dave McWhorter. He was the manager of the year a couple years ago. You see what he's done with Tiafimo and all the prospects that you fit in right nicely. A lot of the great prospects Split T has.
I'm extremely confident. I'm not arrogant, but I'm extremely confident, and I know what I bring to the table. And I'm not talking about social media or followers or views. I'm talking about pure boxing skills. I'm a thoroughbred fighter. I have a very old school mind. All I do. I'm not.
In a perfect world, how many fights you like to get in for 2023?
At least 4, but I like 5. I like to be at least 15-0 by next year.
And then you start maybe fight for some of those regional title bouts that get you into the rankings. Is that where we're having this conversation a year from now? Is that where you want to be?
Next year I'll be 21, so that's the perfect time. Like back when I had the draw, I was 19 years old, and my body wasn't mature yet. I was born and so what now, me being 20 years old, I see the difference. It's a big difference. And I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure at 21 there's going to be a big difference.
Yeah, I know. See, when I started talking to you, you were 18. You're a nice kid. You got some meanness in you now, talking to you.
Nah, it's probably because I just came from the dentist. So I can be mean when I have to.
So, what do you want to say to the fans and club? Well, before that, what's the Instagram count out up to? People don't know that Jalen's boxer has got one of the biggest Instagram followings. Well, what's the count up to?
It's up to 220,000.
Wow, 200. Hey, he's a great follow. He takes you into camp. You see what he does in the gym. Where they find you on social media?
Find me at Jalen _Skywalker.
And that's It's Lan.
It's Jalen. It was a
Oh,
typo.
so you know what? I'm writing all these press releases for you over the years. Sometimes I write with an E. Sometimes I don't know what it is now.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
what it
E.
is. I prefer
And-
E, but technically it's A. I found out when I was 17. I
See,
went
you know what? You're still confusing me. Is it A? Is it E?
my whole life. I always spelled it with an E, but I went to the DMV and I gave them my birth certificate, and they said in their system it's with an A, and that
Well, whatever you want it to be, that's how we'll do it. So it's going to be Jalen. So what do you want to say to the fans in closing before we let you go? We just wanted to kind of get it out there. You were split team management. What do you want to say to the fans out there before we let you go?
and I want to say to the fans, just tune in because you don't want to miss it. I'm gonna bring excitement, and I'm gonna bring everything to the sport.
Undefeated featherweight, just 20 years old. You're going to turn 21. Box Rick says January 1st. Is that your birthday?
Got that correct.
Wow. Wow. So 21 years old in a month. Jalen with an E. That's Jalen. I have it spelled wrong here again. So technically, no matter which way you spell it, I guess you're not wrong. Because I guess on the birth certificate it's A. You want an E, so whichever way it's not wrong. But I'm going to spell it with an E.
The diploma is with an E.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters to me. Well, Jalen, thank you for a few minutes of your time. Heal those teeth. What did you get done today?
I went in there, got some feelings in my teeth.
Okay.
Sugar has consequences.
Yeah, no, I believe me. I hear it. I've had a few pulled in my day. So we will talk to you soon, and best of luck. And we wish you and your family and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year / Happy Birthday.
All right, back at you. Best wishes, and thank you for the time of doing this interview.
Thank you, ma'am. There you have it, Jalen Walker, Jalen with an E Walker. So got a big week, like I said. We got the big Terrence Crawford fight on BLK, PPV and PPV.com. We got the big fight in Madison Square Garden, Teofimo Lopez and Sandor Martin. And all next week, live from the WBA convention in Orlando, Florida. Just the who's who of boxing going to be down there. Charlo, Haney, all kinds of legends, Marco Antonio Barreras, Marcos Maidana, Evander Holyfield, Osalino Freitas. So we'll be down there doing shows every week, doing live shows. So hoping for a lot of fan participation next week in Orlando. I'd like to thank Jalen Walker for joining us this week, and we'll talk to you next week live from Orlando.